Good evening, everybody. I'm your cousin. It's so nice to be here. I'm just going back with Walter. First of all, there's no secrets anymore. The goddamn internet. Everyone knows how old I am. They know what size my jockey shorts are. There are no secrets anymore. And I'm saying to my wife, Jody, what is this thing these people are tuning into? What is this internet? I mean, it's not radio. It's not. What is it? And then Walter called me one day. And Walter and I, like he said, we've been friends for a long time. I was a young man. I went to his bar mitzvah years ago, at this club, by the way. And it's always good to see him. And he called me on the phone and he said, I want you to invest on something. Now, when Walter talks, you got to listen to every word. And I heard him say Hill. So I said, you got it. I thought he was talking about Benny Hill. I had no idea what he was talking about. Benny Hill, I mean, it's something I'll invest in. I didn't know what he was talking about. There was this little kid, he was about 8 years old. He was coming home from PS 206. And I get on to my block. This little kid is Brucie, little Brucie here, coming home from my elementary school. And I'm walking on East 26th Street where I live. The day I discovered radio, which is an amazing thing, the most powerful medium ever developed until maybe now. Maybe now. I'm still not that sure. And I'm looking on my street and I see my mother on our porch with Mrs. Flink and Mrs. Bloom and Mrs. McNulty. And they're crying like crazy. I get close, I say, oh my God, what happened? Why is my mother home preparing my cookies and milk where she should be? This is where she should be. So I get closer and I hear something from the porch. It's a little brown box, Bakelite. It said Philco, and it was lit up. And it said something like, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, passed into eternity today. And they went crazy, these strong women. I looked at that box trying to shake and see where that man was. I didn't know what the heck was going on. That day, I realized that if this little brown box made of plastic, pre-plastic, could make my mother and those strong Brooklyn women cry, I'm going to be in that box someday. That's how my career actually started. Well, I grew up. And then I was asked, do you think you can sell pimple cream to people? Well, I knew my audience. This is this new audience that they've suddenly discovered these stiffs in the ivory towers who used to, you know, scoff at rot and roll, they used to call it. They used to say they must keep Cousin Brucie locked up in chains in the basement of ABC and then let me out to do my show. Suddenly they discovered there was something called a youth market. A new audience, a new market. Nobody knew what it was. So I used to get on the air and I said, of course, I'll sell anything. Of course, in those days, all we had was teenage movies, bingo blanket bingo or something, and we had, you know, some pimple creams and a couple things like that. So I used to sell things like Blematine and the Go-Go. Hey kids, make sure you get that tube tomorrow. Cousin Brucie's telling you it's 2 for 1, and if you don't get your pimples removed immediately, money back and pimples back in 3 days. And they buy the damn stuff. They buy it like crazy. Well, this went on for many, many years. Many years. Today, Cousin Brucie's flying on a satellite on Sirius XM. I think at this age, I'm flying on a satellite. And I'm still talking to my kids. The kids are a little older. One day, I called Walter, said, do you ever tune in? Oh yeah, Benny Hill, I've watched him every single night. No. Caitlin Hill. I said, who? What's a Caitlin Hill? Tune in. Oh, you have a computer? I said, yeah, we have a computer. So I tune in, and I'm looking at Caitlin sitting in her bedroom, I think it was, talking about her mother's cookies. Something. She made some cookies. I said, what the hell is this? You gotta be kidding me. This beautiful young kid, I don't even know where she came from, a fuzzy picture, right? I mean, and she's talking about her mom, and I said, yeah, this is ridiculous. So I was like, get rid of her. I tune her in the next day. 3 weeks later, I'm still watching Caitlin Hill, Benny's daughter or something, right? And I'm watching Caitlin, and I'm stuck on Caitlin. I'm saying, what the hell is this? What is this? What is this? How can I? I'm an intelligent person. Look at this thing. This is ridiculous. A little camera, a fuzzy little camera you probably get out of a Cheerios box. And she's talking about all these things. Going to the bathroom, what she saw in the movies, the color of her underwear. I mean, anything went. I went to bed that night, and to sum it up, I had a realization. Ladies and gentlemen, I realized that night, after 3 weeks of watching, and of course being cajoled by Mr. Walter over there, that Caitlin Hill was Cousin Brucie 20-some-odd years ago, maybe more. I said, holy cow, wait a minute. You're talking, Brucie, you're saying to me that this young girl is doing what I did, developing a whole new generation of people listening to me? And she's doing that now to this new generation? I'll be damned. And I watched her the next day, and you know something? She is talking today to this new developing audience that I was talking to for my audience years ago. And what a parallel. Nobody has touched this audience yet. She discovered something with her cohorts. And I got to tell you something, what a bunch of people she has with her. I don't know where she rounded them up, but boy, she is something. We were the 7 good guys, the All-Americans. Caitlin Hill is like Caitlin and her commandos. And she's doing it, she's reaching this new audience that nobody has ever even tapped or even thought of tapping. So we have something here that I call solid gold. You're probably asking, someone just asked over there, you just asked this, right? Shake your head. Just say yes. Okay, trust me. Do you understand her? You really get it? No. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But I know what she's doing. I know what Hitviews are doing. And I'm very thrilled to be an investor, a friend of Walter, and I would like to adopt Caitlin. I'm trying to talk my wife into that. You know? She's like everybody's kid. She's like everybody's daughter. She is just clean and sweet, and she makes you feel very comfortable. So I'm not watching reality television. I'm not watching CNN. I'm not listening to Cousin Brucie who can drive you crazy. You know, I'm watching this sweet, innocent, next-door neighbor's kid, and she's talking to me like a normal kid, and I love it. And I think we have solid gold here. And everything that happens to her tonight and from now on, let me tell you, Benny Hill's daughter deserves it. Caitlin Hill, here's to you, my sweet. We got a good future.